Hello to all good people of the world. This is Paul Wittekind returning to you today with the Universal Law of Numbers, the 369 code. And I'm ready to get started. But what we're going to do is we're going to learn how to do this arithmetic in our heads. And it's not as difficult as it may appear. That's the ultimate goal here today. I'll teach you how to do that. But in addition to that, there's going to be a lesson that's much deeper for us. And that is gaining some understanding of the 369 code, because it dictates the system. And if we understand the way the 369 code, it will be very easy for us to do things like these kind of multiplications in our heads. Now, basically, the 369 code simplifies the universe of numbers for us. So when I look at this particular sheet of paper, now it seems possibly like a daunting task to be able to multiply all these numbers, but in fact we're going to be multiplying numbers far beyond these, and it's okay. It will be easy because we will understand the underlying pattern. And it's that pattern that I'm really trying to teach people about, and not only, how to do these kind of magic tricks, multiplication tricks, magic tricks are the same things. Multiplication, addition, arithmetic is always magic because, for instance, if I go 6 times 7 is 42, I know it's 42. I don't have to line up 6 oranges like in 7 rows and then count them all. So it is a magic trick, and it's as easy as that. And this is just the same thing. You will know, you will begin to understand in your very mind how much these numbers actually add up to. So one thing about the universal law of numbers is this. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's a repeating sequence that goes on forever because it goes 9, 10 is 1 and 0 is 1, 11, 1 and 1 is 2, etc. So I know certain things about the universe of numbers. For instance, I know that this is the 369 code. And when I say the 369 code, it has different codes. It actually has the fundamental code 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 because it's a repeating sequence, but we have other repeating sequences, 1, 4, and 7, 5, 2, and 8, and 1, 8, 1, 8, 1, 8, 1, 8, 1, 8, 1, 8. They all fall into place, but they're all repeating sequences. But in a sense, they're all the same exact code. And if you can kind of get a grasp of that, you will see why these numbers that we multiply today all seem to come back to being the same numbers, maybe a little bit backwards from the others going in the other direction, maybe, stick a couple of numbers in front of another set of numbers and it changes the number, but these numbers we will find are all very similar. In essence, this 369 code, it's going to, if I add these numbers up going across, 1 through 9 is going to be a 9, so 1 through 9, add them up, 45, that adds to 9. That means that this, if I add up all of these numbers and reduce them, it will be a 9. And it will go 699, 699, well, 696969, okay? 696969, 699699699. So it goes 699, 699, 699, and 696969. And that is the universal law of numbers. Now, that particular sequence of numbers, it dictates the entire universe of numbers. Now, we will find that other numbers produce different codes that are similar, but they fall under the umbrella of the grand code. And what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you how these numbers, when we multiply them, they follow the code, and you will recognize that, you will learn that, you will become convinced of that. but it won't be exactly that particular sequence. It will be a derivation thereof. So just to point out, if I take a number like pi, and it doesn't matter how many digits it has in it, but if I multiply that pi number times the sequence 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, it will turn into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and it will reduce as such, as all numbers do. So this is how we learn about the 369 code. And I will give you a little bit more background on that. So we have these codes, and these codes are what teach us how to reduce this particular mathematical exercise into that number 9, and the closer we get to reducing it entirely to the number 9, each step of the way we will understand something about the mechanics of the way the numbers are arranging themselves and constantly moving in order. So this particular sequence of numbers, for instance, when I show them again like this, if I reduce these numbers, it's going to produce this particular code, 669, 669, 669. I'm going to show you how we do that. But that doesn't only include 1 through 111,111,111. This is the prototype, this is the blueprint, and as it goes on, the blueprint will always remain the same. Okay, so before we even got started, I kind of already showed you how to do it. Now, that might not be sufficient for you, so we are going to keep on examining this thing closer and closer and closer. And what we have is the 369 code made up of different codes, 147258, which is 248751. That's the 369 code. This is a 3, this is a 6. 3 plus 6 is 9. This is a 9. What's going to happen is that the numbers that are moving in sequence, they will always be following this particular 369 code, and it's a very helpful way to be able to begin to understand how mathematics works. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to back up a little bit, and I'm just going to show you how we square all of these numbers. And the first thing I want to point out is that here in the middle, as I go from 1 squared to 11 squared to 111 squared, etc., towards infinity, we create a triangle. And inside of this triangle, each time we go from one successive number to the next, we will generate this number that's in the middle, and this number on the right side is locking in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So 1 is very easy and very simple, but it also provides us with the prototype. An important thing to understand is what's going on here on the side. What I'm doing is I'm reducing all these numbers, adding them up and breaking them down, reducing them, and I'm going to come up with the code 149779419. Now, the reason I'm going to come up with that code is because that's the code that arises when one squares numbers. And what we're doing today is we're squaring numbers. Now, we're going to be squaring numbers, in the trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions. Nevertheless, when we square numbers, we will get the sequence 149779419 for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, what happens when it's a 2? Well, 2 starts as a 2. So 2 squared is going to be a 4. So what we're going to see is we're going to see how that works. Now we're going to look at 2. Okay, so as we look at this, we learn that basically these numbers that arise in the middle, they generate these numbers on the right side and they generate these numbers on the left side. And with 1 and 2, it's perfectly symmetrical, so you can see how easy it is. Because I can go like this. 2 squared is 4. 22 squared is 484. 222 squared is 49,284. 2222 squared is 4937284. Add another 2, 4938, 2617284, all the way to 493822715. 950617284, which would be 9 twos squared. 222,222,222 squared is this, like that. But we will also notice that this is this. That's what this is. 2 to the 9th, or 222,222,222, which is 9 twos squared, will give us 4938271515950617284, which is this 950617284. So, understanding that, we have a clue as to the nature of how the entire system works. And if we learn it a little bit deeper, we will be able to work our way through some of these little idiosyncrasies, because as we go up to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, they become a little bit different. But nevertheless, if we understand the grand design and have faith in it, it will always come out and give us the correct answer. Now, if I were to have made a mistake with one of these numbers, which I do, because we're adding numbers, I'm adding numbers, you know, it's like, but anyway, but in order to check myself, I'm going 4, does that add up to a 4? Yes. Does that up to a 7? Yes, it does. 4 and 4 is 8, and 8 is 16, 1 and 6 is a 7. So it's following the code as it does. And the code is the code dictates. Now, when we're doing this kind of arithmetic and we're making numbers that are in the trillions and trillions and trillions, our calculators are imperfect in that endeavor. For instance, there are certain numbers here, if I literally changed one from another, the calculator will still give us the same answer, but it's incorrect because it might, if I put a 3 here, it might say it's the right answer, but if I add them up here, then that would be a 10, which would be a 1, and it wouldn't be correct. So what the 369 code is doing is it's showing us as human beings that we are more powerful calculators than any machines, because we understand the fundamental laws of nature, that the 369 code is a manifestation of nature. Now, when it's called the universal law of numbers, it's because it's talking about the universe. And when we're talking about the universe, we are talking about nature. And nature has all of these manifestations within it, and I try and point them out. Okay, so the 369 code has no imperfections, as does the calculator. Okay, so now we're looking at 3. Now 3, 6, and 9 are very easy. So we can just look at 3 and take a picture in our mind of that, and we will understand that that continues on. That 08 will continue on to infinity, and I will prove that or demonstrate that with some, so you have some confidence that that in fact is true. But as it goes to larger and larger, 3 squared, 33, 333, 3,333, 333,333,333, and beyond, all it's going to do is going to add a 1 to that side and an 8 to that side, and it will keep that perfect symmetrical structure. So when it comes to 3, 6, and 9, they're very easy, and 1 is very easy, and as I showed you, 2 is very easy as well. And then when we get to some of these other numbers, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 in particular, we're going to have to learn something about how the number system works, but don't feel bad about that, because it's how the entire number system works, and not only for the purposes of this mathematical exercise that we're doing, which is very curious and everything, and it's very interesting and can be very impressive, I think, to people if you can do this in your head, but in fact, it's not such a great accomplishment, as is understanding simply that this underlying pattern, this 369 universal law of numbers code, is underlying all numbers, whether we're squaring them, taking them to any power, the third, fourth, fifth, sixth, on to infinity. It doesn't matter in how many dimensions. This 369 code, it calculates them with ease because it's all embedded internally within. So what we're doing is we're showing you how to do this correctly in your mind and not with the calculator. Now, when we get to 4, for instance, we have some things that begin to change. It's just the first change that we can, observe. But basically what's going to happen is, for instance, it will go 4 squared is 16, and 44 squared is 1936, and then 444 squared, 197136. Yes, it's true. Then it will go 197,49136. That is true. And then it will go 1975, you see 197526. 9136. So we notice a change. Well, it's these little changes that we are going to be picking our minds over today. And as you see what they're doing in different situations, it will become more clear, so you'll have a better general understanding. This is not a spectator sport per se, but for today's purposes, you may be a spectator, just so you get the basic underlying grasp of how this 369 code is dictating the system. The 369 code is the number 9, which dictates the system, but it's just the same old arithmetic you've always learned, but maybe from a different perspective. Now, I don't know how you learned it, but when I went to school a long time ago, and I spent a lot of time in schools with people, doing mathematics on blackboards in front of me, and nobody bothered to explain this to me. So, if there's a conspiracy theory, this is the mother of all conspiracy theories. Okay, now, the fact of the matter is, you be the judge whether or not this appears to demonstrate to you mathematics in a different perspective, where you get a broader understanding of the entire system, and it's not so confusing as it was. Now, this arithmetic that we are doing right now, we are doing, this is literally algebra. So we're going to do algebra, we're going to do trigonometry and geometry, etc. But we're not doing it that way. We're doing it without symbols, per se. But if I look at this thing, I see a triangle, and that's not hard to figure out. And I see that it has symmetry, and I see this as well. I see 9 and 0 is, okay, so 9 and 0 is 9, 2 and 7 is 9, 7 and 2 is 9, 1 and 8 is 9, 6 and 3 is 9, 0 and 9 is 9, 5 and 4 is 9, 9 and 0 is 9, and 3 and 6 is 9. So we have that working for us. Now, the thing about it is, that's not going to work for all these in between. So we have to kind of learn a couple of things about what these numbers do, because they do some things. And with the 7, you will see what goes on. For instance, with 7, we're going to go 7 squared is 49, and then it goes 59, 29. Okay, so we already, we didn't have the 59 up there, but we do have it here, and it is showing it to us. But basically, at this point, it's going to go 603,729. Then it's going to go 604,81729, 604,926,1729, 604,937061729. Now, basically, we see the 4 turns into a 5, and then it turns into a 6. But once it became a 6, it goes forever. Now, this is a very unusual situation in the universal law of numbers. In these triangles, because typically it will go to a number and then once it goes that number, it will lock in. It will change, it can change, but once it changes, it locks in. In this particular instance, it does not, so it's a special thing and we need to understand that. With the 8 has its own set of idiosyncrasies, yet we have the basic thing. For instance, 4 and 5 is 9, 4 and 5 is 9, 5 and 4 is 9, 6 and 3 is 9, 7 and 2, 8 and 1, 9 and 0, 0 and 9, and 2 and 7 are all going to add up to 9. And on the right-hand side, the number will always lock in. And that's a universal law of numbers as well, because there's no deviation from that. This thing here, as it grows, it will generate this number over here. But in this case, on the right-hand side, whatever it is here, it's going to be this here. Whatever it is here, it'll be here. Whatever here, 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 and that will continue on forever, and you can count on that. And that's a beautiful thing too. Okay, so 9s are just as easy because basically what we have is we have 81, and then it's followed by 80. On the left side of 8, just add another 9. On the right side of 0, just continue with zeros. Finish it off with a 1, and 9s will be like that. So 1, 3, 6, and 9, you may have already learned, basically just looking at these charts that I showed you already. Okay, so we looked at them like that. Now, what we want to be able to do is not only, do the arithmetic to 9 of them squared, we want to understand how it goes to infinity. And basically, I'm going to show you, if you see down there on the bottom, those are 2 zeros. So what happened was 0, 1 changed to 0, 0. 1 minus 1 is 0. Okay? Once it hits 0, now it will be that all throughout. So basically what we have is 9 of them here, and then 9 through 18 here, and we can think about what happens when it goes from 18 to 27, 27 to 36 of them, to 45, to 54, to 63, to 72, to 81, to 90, 99, 108, to infinity, because this right here will give us all of the information we need to be able to multiply these numbers to infinity. And basically, it's the pattern. So, when we look at 1, we see that something changes right here. It goes from 8 to 9. Other than that, and also it went from 1 to 0, 0, but other than that, this is the same. But it did make a change. So we would see the change 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But down here we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. It didn't go 7, 8, 9. It went 7, 9. But here it's going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. So that's the only difference. And in order to get this number, we don't even need to do all of this. We can just do a trick, and I will illustrate that for us. So basically, that's 1. And this is 2, and okay, so we're looking at the side and we're getting the 369 code. So if there's a mistake in one of these numbers, it will not add up and reduce to this number, and then you don't have the triangle drawn correctly. But we do want to look at this as a triangle, and it ends right there at 9, and it keeps going, and it'll keep on going. But we want to think of it in terms of these 9 segments. It's almost like 10 numbers. In other words, this is 1, 2, 8, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, but this is like a 10 plus the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If we go to the next segment of 9, it'll be like 2 of those and 1 of these. Then go further, 9 down, it will be 3 of these and 1 of these. This is the number, the 1-digit number that follows it ends the sequence. It ends the number. Like between 10 and 20 is 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. It's just that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that second number in the digit, and that's what that represents. And I will try and make that more clear to you. But in any case, you will figure it out in a different way than I actually show it to you, because in fact there are so many commonalities here and sequences and patterns that you can recognize that you may do it completely different from me. But in any case, if we take a 3 and square that, it's going to be a 9. 33 squared is going to be 9. it will always be a 9, and it's going to work like that, and 3 is very easy, and now we're looking at 4. So one thing we may want to look at is how this number always goes. This bottom number, this is the 9th sequence, that's going to go to a 4. It did it with 1, it does it with 2, it does it with all of them. So we know that. Now what we want to be able to do is, well, we have to understand, because we have to understand what happens with the 4. 16, 4 squared, then 1936, 197136, 19749136, 1974269136, but then 1975, excuse me, 19749136 is followed by 1975269136. Okay, so we're going to basically address that in a second, but before we do, we will see that things start to get a little bit more complicated with the 5s, but it's not a big deal. And in effect, what's going to happen is this. Okay, the thing doesn't work exactly. You have to make the adjustments. As you learn these adjustments, by default, you're going to learn these numbers in your head, because you just will. And they're easy, and they're repeating, because if it goes with 5, it's going to be the same numbers with 4, by the way. Whatever goes with 2, the same numbers will go with 7. Whatever goes with 8, the same numbers will go with 1, because they have to add up to 9. And you will begin to get a grasp of that, but it doesn't matter. We're going to go through the whole thing anyway, and you just kind of bear with me. This is the 6s, okay? Now, in a previous video, and I do apologize, I made this mistake. I wrote 6s in where there should have been 5s, and now I own up to that, and I'm going to... On occasion, I will make a couple of errors like that, you know. One of the things is, when I was doing this in the beginning, I really didn't check it against the 369 code. I just assumed that the calculator was giving me correct numbers because I was guessing, and in effect, it didn't. But these are all absolutely correct numbers as far as I can tell, and you should not have any doubt about that. In order to do it yourself, you just follow the simple sequence. Basically, you learn what these numbers are in the middle, and they're quite easy to learn, and we're going to address that in a couple of seconds, but it's sort of like this. Okay, so this is what you learn. Now, if you learn that, then you will know how to, on paper, off of this, you will be able to answer all of those questions, like what is 1 squared to 999,999,999 and beyond. You will be able to do by just knowing this, because this is the calculator. Now, this is the calculator that I am trying to implant in your heads. And I have some very good news, because it's really not that difficult, and it's the blueprint, okay? It's not the perfect thing, because even though it works with 1 squared is 1, 11 squared is 121, 111 squared is 12321, 1111, 1234321. It goes 1 2 3 4 5 6 4 5 3 2 1. 1 2 3 4 5 6 5 4 3 2 1 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 6 5 4 3 2 1, etc. Okay, but that's not going to work exactly like that. It will with 2. It won't work exactly like that with 4 through 8, but you will figure out how it does work. All you have to realize is, in order to draw that diagram, that's very easy, that's very easy, that's very easy, that's very easy, and the other numbers, well, basically 4, 16, 5, and 7 are the same numbers in a little bit different orders, okay? So what we try and do is we want to learn this, and from this, you will be able to do it all on paper. And from paper, you will probably, it will by osmosis, it will sink into your head. Okay, so that's what 8 looks like, and we're just going to take a look at 8 for a second, because 8 is really the most complicated one probably, and I'll show you how entirely complicated it is. It basically is, I know that 8 squared is 64, and I also know, I already knew that 88 squared was 7744. I actually knew 888 squared is 788544, but I would have to think about that. But it helps to know what some of these numbers are and on your own, because they will fill in the blanks for you. But anyway, so it goes 64, 77, 44, then 7888544, which goes to 789965544 and goes to 79010765544. Now, once you get to the 79, then it's going to stay 79, and it will continue on to infinity like that. But it will end, it will come back. It's basically, lost that train of thought. So what I know is I'm not going to go 678544. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go 64, then 7744. Then I know that 77 changes to 78, and 78 goes to, it's 78 again, and then it goes to 79. But in any case, it's 77, 788, 789, 96, 79010. And if you get that, then you'll know how to do the 8s, and there's nothing that complicated about it. And you will see what I mean by that. And 8s are also very easy to write, because it's 64, add 10, 74, then add 11 through 40. That's how you get those numbers. You add 12 to get 52. 64 changes to a 63, and subsequently will always be a 63. And number 9 is going to be like that, and it's as easy as I said. So we'll just not pay much time with this, but I'll just kind of show you that what we did was we're taking these numbers in the middle, and they're giving us the answers, because it's these numbers that are funneling that give us this left-hand side and this right-hand side of the answer. So we just look how, the only thing about 1 is it's going to change here. That 8's going to go to a 9, and that's going to change the triangle as it goes on. So 2, the 5 goes to a 6. 3, all we need to do is this. Well, 3 squared is 9, and 33 squared is 1089. And then 333 squared is, the 1 is going to be increasing. It's going to go 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1, etc. And the 0 will stay 1 0, and the 8 will increase just the same as the 1. So let's say 333 is going to be 2 1s 1 8, 2 1s 1 0, 2 8s and 1 9. Then 3333 is going to go, that's 3333, right? 4 3s. It will be 4 1s and 4 8s, 1 0 and 1 9. So it'll go 1 1 1 0 8 8 8 9. Then it'll go 1 1 1 1 0 8 8 8 8 9. Then it will